All right. So yeah, so let's very quickly do this. And actually, we have to discuss use effect today. That's why I've given that in assignment. And in assignment, you will need that use effect, of course, to fetch the data. So now see here, first of all, let's see that what our application is doing. And most of you have seen that now my application is basically working fine. If I just write that 2025, for example, whatever, and I put a checkbox, I hit a submit, and look at that, I'm getting everything over here. Now let's very quickly complete this function, the add task, because there are still few things remaining here in the add task. You see that even after filling it, our text boxes remain filled in, which is bad. So now come to the add task, and remember on submit we were working. After you are done, we can do a little interesting thing. If I say set text and I do it empty. Do you guys understand that one? Set day and I make it empty. Set reminder and I make it false. Do you guys make sense? Refresh them. So if I refresh that, come here and I add a task. As I hit submit, okay, just give me a second. Oh, I won't do that. Oh, no, I'll do that over here. Why it is not doing? Set text, set that. Okay. Let's see that.
Changed that.
Sorry?
The variables changed that. The state variable changed that, but the UI didn't change.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, right. You're right. First of all, what we have done, you're right. First of all, what has done? We have set them up. It means that we have reset our state variables. Make sense? But of course, he's very right. We don't see that effect over here. And why don't we see that? Because in this text boxes, we have an attribute called value that actually defines the value of that one. Now see here, and this is something that I had to do. Now come to the form and add this attribute with everything. So if I come here in the form and after input type of the text, if I say value is equal to text. Are you guys getting that one? Whenever the text will update, the value will update over here. Same ways, value is equal to what should come here? Day, because update the day, and value is equal to over here in the checkbox. Value is equal to, what I'll do? I'll say reminder. Whatever is the value of reminder. But here I need a little bit more thing. Even though you see that those are updated, but it's not. And you know why? It needs one more attribute over here, the checkbox and radio buttons. And what is that attribute? See here, it is called checked, equal to not checked, checked equal to also reminder. Now see here. Now see, I add a task, ABC, whatever, submit. The task is added, and do you see that everything goes back to normal? So it needs just one more, checked equal to reminder. So it has a check property, so we set it to the reminder. Whatever is the reminder, just set it up. Now do you see that? Now last thing before the form is almost done, it is doing its job. Just one thing, user can do this kind of stuff, bad stuff. So someone comes here, just enter something and just hit enter. Look at that. The task is at validation. We need a little validation. Let's do just one validation. Come back on the top in this function, and over here, just write if no text. So do what? Just return. Return means go out of it. We don't want anything to happen, right? So if it will be returned, it will not do anything at all. So let's. Yeah, you can do that. Whatever. You can have a pop-up, you can have anything, and you can just, do that one. So now listen, what I've done, that return, and now if I just come here and if I want to add a task which does not have a text, you can have a checking for everything. Do you see that it does not add that? You see, we got return and it does not add that. Or we can have any messages as well. But as I enter anything here, look at that. My task is added. Kalyan, do you see that? The task is added when we have validated that. No? That shit is working? Wonderful. Now see here. This is all wonderful and we are now into a very interesting state. And now we have to actually start talking about a new topic. And for that, you remember what we do always? We will go to our topics folder, remember? And now come in the topic folder and here create a new component and call it ueffect.jsx. All of you, please just do that. Ueffect. And you will be ueffect. Yes, in the components. Oh, sorry, not the component. In the topics of the components. Remember, we do the topics. That's something which is not directly part of project, but it will something to discuss. Ueffect. Create that and create that component. RAFCE. Let's create that one. Now, just to see the effect, what I will do you guys remember what we do usually? We will mute our main logic and we will just open that one. And but please remember to just, reclose that always. So I'll just leave the header, rest everything I'm commenting out. And here I'm calling what? Ueffect. And my program will go abnormal. Why? No import, remember? Import ueffect from topics / something. You see, ueffect is coming. So I've muted my main logic, right? Tasks are muted. They're not here. And we have just ueffect. Sorry? Which one? No. If you comment out return, you won't see that. You have to see the output, right? And you see, I leave the header as well, just to have something here. Now listen, this is very important, and this is important with respect to your assignment as well. Now listen, ueffect. We started talking about hooks last week, and we talked about first hook, use state. Now, do you see the difference, importance of use state, how interesting things we are producing with that? We define a variable and we update that and it's updated everywhere. You see that? In the same way, we have another hook, and this hook is called use effect. What is the name? Use effect. What is use effect hook? I'll just, show you a little bit theory here. Then we'll talk about that. Now let's see the theory from somewhere. Maybe let's take that. Let's take, W3 School's definition. Now see here, the use effect hook allows you to perform side effects on your components. It's just like its name suggests, side effects. Whenever my component gets loaded, I want to run some function. Whenever my component gets offloaded, I want to run some function. Whenever my component gets re-rendered or rendered, I want to run some function. Are you guys getting that one? For that purpose, what we do, we actually do what? We use this use effect. Now, use effect actually takes two parameters, and we'll talk about that one. But if I just, tell you if in fact about that one, what is this use effect? Use effect provides us a side effect. And again, listen, I'm telling you, just remember, whenever my component first time get loaded, do something. Whenever I just re-render my component, do something. Whenever I delete something, do something. You know what I mean? I want to run some code on different states of my components. And you will better understand. Let's come to the U effect now. U effect code. And here, I'll go to the top and I will first of all import use effect from React. And now, alongside use effect, I will be needing use state as well. Let's type that one and then I'll discuss everything. Use effect and use state. Use effect and use state. I've just typed both of them, brought both of them. All right. Now in my program, I just create a count variable just for nothing. I'll be using that, by the way, which is starting with a 0. And I call this use effect. Look at that, use effect. Use effect has a very interesting syntax. Use effect takes one callback function inside that, which is very obvious. And I'm not talking about a second parameter till now, right? This is use effect. And now this use effect is doing what? Console.log use effect is called. Make sense, everyone? I've just done that. Now, let's come back over here in this div. I would say the value of count is, and we have a count variable, which is state variable. And I would say, for example, the value of count is this. And why not if I place it in H3? And I will have a button that I want to use update count. Update count. And I'll come here and again, just to make my little better, BTN. You know what I mean? Oh, it's very much big for that one. And we can change that one as well. But let's say update, just update. Now see here, we have got a button. And what I want with this button, I say whenever someone clicks on this, run a function, callback, and go to set count and make it count plus 1. Look at that. I'm not telling you right now the purpose of use effect, but I'm just telling you something here. So it's a very simple use state problem. And you see that when I click on that, the value is changing. You remember we have done that a lot of times. It's just a basic thing. Now, actual thing is in our inspector. If I show you the console, and let's clear that. Let's restart that. Do you see that when my application starts, it says use effect is called? Do you guys understand that one? When I come and click on this add button, which is not doing anything, but do you see use effect is again called? When I come and click on update of the count, do you see my use effect is again called? Regardless what I'm doing, do you see that it always keep on calling use effect? Let's discuss it. Use effect actually calls right now. Use effect is actually called with every rendering or re-rendering of my component. Whenever I hit a button, the components get re-rendered. Sorry? Okay. Whenever I click on update count, the count is updated. And as the count is updated, re-rendering happened. You guys understanding? Rendering and re-rendering? Components gets rendered, re-rendered. The form in which I have used use effect, whenever I will do any change, I will have any rendering or re-rendering on my main component or any component, the use effect will always be called. You see that 14 times or maybe 15 times it is called. Make sense, everyone? Now, this is first case. What is the second case? If I come here and it has another parameter I told you after the function body, which was consoling, you come and put a square bracket, just a square bracket, empty square bracket. Look at that. If someone has missed the syntax in the use effect, when the function body completes, put a comma and just put a square bracket, empty square bracket. Make sense, everyone? Now see what is happening. I come here and I refresh that. So use effect is called, and always it will be called for the first time when use effect is used. It will be always called person. Now, is it recalling when I'm re-rendering? Look at that. Is it recalling? No. So an empty square brackets after the function body tells that you have to execute only first time when my component renders, my application renders. After that, you don't have to run. Are you guys getting that one? Now let's talk about these two scenarios right now. You might have a scenario where you say that your server gets lots of updates every after second or something. You say, okay, whenever the updates happen, my use state runs and brings something. Or the other way around, you say that, okay, I have a server running. Just when my application starts, go there and fetch something, but after that, don't run. So will I use this second situation right now? If I want only it to run once. Are you guys getting that one? What is the third situation? Third is very interesting. Third situation is that in this square bracket, in this square bracket, come and just write count here. Now see here, I want you to just focus on something. Count here. Now, when I refresh that, look at that. Use effect is called. Now, in all three scenarios, for the first time, use effect will always be called. Make sense, everyone? It is called. Now, I come and click on this add button. Does it count use effect again? No. Okay. I again click it. No. When I come and update the count, you see that? Do you guys understand what does that mean? Whenever count changes, run this code. Guys getting that one? Whenever count changes, run this code. Are you guys? So just listen. There are three scenarios. Do I want every time when my component renders, re-renders to run it? I won't place any square brackets over there. Just the function. If I want just once it has to be executed, so what I do, I'll just put a square bracket empty. And if I want that it should run with every change in so and so count variable, any variable, I will put that variable name and it will just, so you see that when I'm clicking here, you see 3 times it is called. 1 time default and 3 times when I click update 3 times. When I was clicking this add and close, was it count? Was it like calling? No. Why it was not calling? Because use effect has been given count as a dependent variable, dependent function. Yes, you had a question.
So, as in empty bracket, it means nothing to be, there's nothing to be thought about. Like, if there's nothing in the bracket, it won't run.
It won't, it will just run once in the beginning. And you know what does that mean? I'll tell you. We'll use this situation. I have some data on the API, for example, and I want, as my application gets loaded, go to API, bring the data, and then I don't want you to just bring anything else. Are you guys getting that one? So it will go and fetch the data for you, and data is there with you. Now, do you want this code to execute again? Go again to the API? No. You want that. So you will do what? Put a empty square brackets over. And empty square bracket will make it just run once. Now, if you have a URL, you say that whenever URL changes, it means you have to bring back the new data. Are you guys getting what I'm saying? So if whenever URL, so you put the URL in the square brackets. Whenever user changes the URL, it will go and fetch that data because URL change means I have to bring new data something. Are you guys getting that one? If you understand that, this is typically, very interesting function that in your assignment will also be used to fetch data. You remember when we fetch the data? We have already started working, and it's exactly the same as our midterm question. Almost the same, just with a little difference. Now listen about that one. I will be now implementing a very important feature here. I can use this to fetch that. Let's first of all use this fetch to data from our default APIs that we have used. Now see here, how would you bring the data? Look at that. I will come here and I would say in this use effect, I don't want this one. I have I'll just take away the count as well. So it means I want it to run. Now, can you tell me how many times I want it to run? Only once, just when it starts. Now, I define a function here. I say const fetch users. I have a function. Now see here, and I'm just hinting you about your assignment as well. How you have to work on that. So I can use the fetch then. You guys remember? I can say fetch. Let's do that first of all. https://racres. Remember racres.in/API/users. Now I can always say .then. Remember everyone? .then, .catch, whatever. But towards the end, I told you a very interesting and easy method to use this asynchronous programming and fetch everything. Do you guys remember async await functions? Remember async await function? I will use them. So for example, rather than using this then, and this is a little bit complex. I would say, I will make this fetch users function asynchronous. Are you guys getting that one? And here, I would say const response is equal to fetch users for me. Are you guys getting that one? Let me just see why it is just giving it. Sorry. Oh, there is a syntactical problem. Oh, here. Okay. So what I've done, I have by mistake. Oh yeah. So yes, that's one more thing. Await. Wonderful. That is another very important. But again, here is some syntactical problems. For the is okay. I've just missed one curly bracket, right? Okay, right. Look at that. Now see here. Remember, rest. You now, who will be the person who would just go and just try to use facts then when we have this easier way of accessing data? Do you see that? Now we have got the response. If after await the response comes, we can convert it into normal JavaScript. Do you guys remember that one? Now let's convert that. And how to do that? Very easy. Const data is equal to rest dot JSON. Remember everyone? And now let's do something. Console.log data. Now see here. Now look at that. I hit refresh. Oh, I did not call this function. So fetch users, remember? I'll have to call it over here. Make sense? I have not called that one. And I'll do that bullish mistake a lot of time. Now see here. If I refresh that, look at that. I am getting a promise. Why I'm getting a promise? Why I'm not getting the data? Anyone? I'm not getting the data. It should be data here. I have unknowingly made a mistake, and you know that mistake. Everyone knows that mistake.
Wait before the next.
Are you guys getting that one? This await is very important because you know what is happening? It's actually running that even before the JSON is converted. So that's why it is showing the promise. Are you guys getting that one? It was a good mistake to have. I did not intentionally do it, but is it a good mistake to have? Because now if I just come here and I say await and I hit save, look at that. Do you guys see the same data reference? The data we talked about. You guys getting that one? And now, will this component will again go and fetch this data ever? No. Why? Because I've used empty square brackets. It means I just want it to run once in the beginning, not every time. Are you guys getting that one? Because we are about to do something really cool. We'll set up our own server by the way. And you will really, you really like that because we try to fetch it from the server. But anyhow, you guys understand that one? Can I now play with this data and I can just show this data as we have done before? So I'm talking about the assignment. When you will be accessing from the countries API, you will use this fetch, bring the data, and then you have to play with it, right? Data will be there. You have to play with it. Now that's wonderful. So we are done with this UEFI. Now we'll implement this in our project. And how we'll implement that? Before implementation, I want to show you something that I want to set up my own server, JSON server. Now see here, there is a very interesting way, and this will give you a very good way of, having a JSON server. We can set up an application, a server for ourselves that will behave like this API request. And I will be able to make all the calls over here. Do you remember what are the API calls? Can someone remind me what are the API calls? We have talked about get a lot. GET get. What are the other? Anyone remembers or anyone knows that? Post, put, delete. Do you know? These are the CRUD operations. Create, read, update, delete operations. So we'll talk about that. For that, we are setting up our own server. Are you guys getting that one? And it's very easy. You will really like that. You know that right now, if I show you, right now the tasks that are coming, that were coming on my application. Do you know where these tasks are stored? I show you app.js. Do you know these are the tasks? Do you guys understand that one? You know what I'm trying to do? Everyone, please listen to this. What I'm trying to do? I take all these tasks from here. I create a server of my own, like Regress. I'll put all these tasks over there, and then in app, I will fetch those tasks here, and I will show these tasks. What will be the benefit of that? Then I can ultimately delete the task from the server as well. So permanent storage. You guys understand that one? So unless server will be running and tasks are there, it will show on server. When I delete that, I'll make a delete call. When I want to make an update, I will have a put call. When I want to add a new task, I will make what? Post request. We'll talk about that. But let's do that. And you will have to just look very carefully what we are doing because we are setting up a new server for us. Now see here, I will open up a new terminal. And you know why? Because one terminal is running my application. I don't want to disturb that. Now, can you guys open that one and try to reach to your particular folder, section 2, CD week 10 it was, right? CD task tracker. Oh, sorry. CD task tracker. Now see here, I'm inside my real folder, the project folder. You can see that? Now we are installing the JSON server. Write down npm install for I JSON dash server. Now all of you please type that one. JSON dash server. Have you installed that one? Once it will be installed, npm I JSON dash server. I'll show you. npm I JSON dash server. Can you do that? Now, if you have installed that successfully, if it is installed, I'll show you something interesting. Go to your package.json and find out whether it is installed or not. Go to your package.json. Do you guys all see where is the JSON server? Sorry? Dependencies. Okay. Why don't I see that? JSON server should be there in the dependencies. Do you guys see that? You should see that in the package.json, right? Why I don't see? You can see that. Okay, wonderful. You know, if it won't be there, I will get the problem. Now listen what we'll do. Come to the scripts here, put a dot, put a comma, sorry, put a comma, and write a script server. We will write a server. You know that we run npm run dev. In the same way, we are writing our own script server. We want to run our JSON server on that one. Server. Now, after server, just write down over here the lines that we are adding. JSON dash server, run this command. Watch a file that I will create, db.json, and the port number should be 5000. Do you guys understand that one? Oh, I think I know what I've done mistake. You know what I've done? Look at my CDing and you will understand what is the problem. No? Sorry? I've done that for the section 2's folder. This is section 1. Remember? We have both folders. Look at that. Look at that. I was saying that why it is not showing that. Look at that. What I've done, I've went into the section 2, which is, of course, that also has a task tracker, right? And that already had JSON. So I made a foolish mistake. That's why I don't see that. And again, it will not work for me because, you know, right now I'm installing it on the section 2 server and accessing here. So again, my bad. I'll have to just go back. So I'll just go back. Yeah. CD dot. Now see that CD section 1. Make sense? CD week 10 CD task tracker. Look at that. Now npm install npm I JSON dash server. Install the JSON server, and definitely the dependency will appear over here because it should appear here. Look at that. It pops up here. JSON server 1.0.0 beta 3, whatever. Now listen. Have you guys written down this script? Can you read this script? It's very simple. I am defining as you see we run this dev npm run dev to run this beat server that is running our application. In the same way, I have created a script which I have called server. Now, run my JSON server. I will have a file db.json, database.json. I want you to watch that, access that, and which port number I want you to do that? 5000. Are you guys getting that one? Make sense? Now, in this same in this same terminal, write down this command, npm run server. So no big deal. We are running our own script, right? Server. Now hit enter. npm run server, hit enter. Okay. Yes, I'm just coming. Yeah, does it say db.json not found? Everyone get that error? Now, my bad. I'm just coming to you. Now come here and see here what I'm doing. Please look at that. In our task tracker folder, main folder, I create a new file and I call it db.json. In the task tracker folder, db.json. It has to be a main file, right? In the outside, db.json. Have you created a file? Now let's add something over here. Add with me. Users. Don't worry about the red lines. I'll talk about these red things. Can you guys guess why it is coming as red color? Because JSON says that fields should have double quotations as well. JSON is a string format. Do you guys remember that? And you know, our prettier is so friendly that we don't need to worry about that. Can you hit Control S here after typing this? Hit Control S and look at the magic. You see the magic? What has happened? It has changed my normal JavaScript into JSON. Every field should be surrounded by double quotations. That is the problem. Not numbers, not Boolean, I think. We'll have to just string should be surrounded by that, right? Now, I'm trying to make a JSON file just in very simple words. And this JSON has a user and two users are there. Right? Yes. You had a question? Yes. Go to the calculation is that and right? And after that, put a colon and double quotations. JSON dash server. You know what it is? JSON dash server space dash minus watch space db.json. This db.json and yes, and space dash port number. I want to do it another 5,000. Have you created db.json? Yes, but yeah. What save that? It's and just one sentence, no problem. Yeah, I put two. You can keep watching. Wonderful. Ask me here. Now, when you hit Control S, it is not changing that because you don't have the prettier, right? Oh, it is doing that actually. Now listen. Now can you guys run this command again one more time? Run this command again. npm run server. Run this command again. One npm run server. Let's run that. Yes. npm run server. That's what I'm doing. npm run server. npm run server. Now, does it run or it is still showing some problem? No, there is a problem. Listen. Oh, 5,000 is already in use. So again, we are not worried about that. You know what we'll do? I can come here and I can make it maybe 8,000 because I know that my previous server might be running over there. 8,000, right? So it's up to us. No problem. It's not a big deal. I've changed the server. Like it is for me, it is 8,000. You can also change that in the statement. Look at that. Now it is all good. Yes. Now, please keep in mind, my server is running at 8,000 port and your server is running at, you know why? Because my 5,000 port was already occupied with something, right? So now see here, open the browser, open the browser, open the browser, and in the browser, just come here and write localhost colon 8,000. Hit like you will like 5,000 by the way. You see users over here. Now click on these users. Now click on these users. Look at that. Do you see the data here? This is very interesting. Now we have set up our own server that is capable of receiving requests. Make sense? And you know where this file is all made, where this data is all made, db.json. But it is actually served as a server. So your server will be running at 5,000. You can always write 5,000, and I have this on 8,000. 8,000 / users. Does that make sense to everyone? We have set up our own server. Now the next step will be very interesting. Now I will do something with my application that we have not done. Look at that. So I was calling this U effect, which I have done that. Now I don't need this U effect. So can you guys go back to app.jsx and do something with me? What? Comment out U effect. I don't need that, remember? And I'll run that side by side. And instead, I will uncomment my main logic. Got everyone? I've just pushed it back, like, you know, it back to my original thing. Yes, is it good? Now listen to this very carefully. Actually, I want to ship my all tasks from my app.jsx to this server db.json. Is there a problem? Okay. Now listen, what I have said. Can you repeat what I said? Yes? Can you repeat what I said? He was disturbing me. Okay. Now listen. You know, we have the tasks that are coming up over here. And where are these tasks? Do you guys know that? These tasks are here on the top. Just look at that. Do you know these tasks are here? You know what I'm doing? Please listen to this and then we'll do that. I will take this all tasks from here. I will cut this from here. And I will paste them in my db.json. Are you guys getting that one? Listen. And let's do that. Come here. And you know, it will be easy if I just make them, you know, like this. So I will select all these 3 tasks and cut it. Cut. Really. Control X. I've done Control X, right? Cut this from here. Come to the db.json. And now here we need to do a little thing. I'll just remove this and I'll write tasks colon array and paste it over here. And see that again, my prettier will come to rescue me. If I hit save, look at that. Prettier will rescue you, right? Prettier will change that. So even though it was a normal JavaScript object data, I just changed to the JSON. If we have done that successfully and save our app.jsx, look what will happen. I've not saved app.jsx. If I hit save here, do you guys see that no task to display? Why? Where are the tasks? The tasks have been cut from here, deleted from here. I don't know where they are, but do you know what is happening? The tasks are coming from here. Now, are they available over here right now? No. They've gone somewhere. I don't know where they are. Right? And we know that here we have just pasted them. We have pasted them in what? db.json. And do you want to see that running server? On running server, where are those? Come here. On your running server, just come here and write here. Not users. Tasks. Do you guys see the tasks are on the server? Is that making sense to everyone? This is becoming very interesting. My tasks have gone from my app.jsx to the server. Now, you know, we have just learned what? Use effect. You know, we have learned use effect. Can I use effect to fetch these tasks from this server? A very big yes. Do you guys understand that one? So, and can I bring them? And look at that. Can I bring them, somehow fetch them and call set task and set those tasks inside that? And my task will be back on my application. Are you guys getting that one? Now, let's do the use effect thing over here. I will, don't stop the server. Server should be keep on running. Now come here. I need to use what? Import. And by the way, I'm importing use state. So I'll come here and I'll say use effect as well. Are you getting that one? Use effect. I'll just call that one. And after all these functions, maybe, or maybe here, I can just come here somewhere and I call use effect. Look at that. Use effect. Now, use effect has a callback function. And now my question, how many times I want it to run? Only once, because I want it to go and fetch the task for me and then stop, then sleep, right? So what I'll do, I'll put a square bracket after that, right? Now come here. Now let's do that same thing that we have done. Fetch tasks equal to, should I make an async function over here? Everyone? Async function. You know why? Because this will become very easy. Now let's see. Res or response is equal to await. Now I will not miss that. Await fetch http / localhost : what should I write? 5,000 or 8,000? For me, it is 8,000. For you, it would be very common sense thing, right? 5,000, 8,000 for me. And slash tasks. Do you guys get it? So if everything has gone well, I will convert it to the data. And now why not? If I console that data first. Just console that and see whether my tasks are coming or not. Now, I'll come here, open my inspector, console, and see here, if I hit refresh, do you see an object already? And if I hit the refresh, you see an object already. If I open that object, there's nothing inside that object. Why? Sorry? Oh, it is running U effect, right? Okay, just give me a second. Oh, I always do this foolish mistake. Now I want you guys to find my mistake. I'll open the code. No, Wang, I don't want you to. I always make this foolish mistake. 1,000 times I will make this foolish mistake. Who will find my mistake? I make always the function, but I never call it. You see fetch tasks? Fetch task is never called. How in the world it can fetch something? You know what I mean? And I will do that 1,000 times. Remember, I'll come here. See here, fetch tasks. Are you guys getting that one? Now it should have something here. Let's come and refresh that. Look at that. What is this? Do you guys again see back our tasks? You guys getting that one? Now there is just one single step that will bring these tasks on my UI as well. How many of you know what is that step? Now tasks are coming up. I'm consoling them. So my server, I'm successfully fetching the tasks. And you can just check that if you stop that server, kill the terminal, and 5,000 is not doing anything, you won't get anything over here. You guys get what I mean? Of course, server is running. Now, what is the one liner that will just display all these tasks on my screen? Now, come here. Instead of this consoling, everyone please see. If I call set tasks and set up a data inside that, do you know the array is coming already? We have map and everything set up for that one. Look at that. Look at the output on the right side. Control S, and I'll have to refresh that. I know now the tasks are coming from where? They are not no more local variables. They are tasks coming from our server. And we have literally set up a server over there. Literally, we have set up a server. Is that interesting? And now you might be thinking, I got a question last in yesterday's class, and it was a very good question, I feel. The student said, why in the world you worried about setting up a server and then making a db.json? We had one example where we were just directly creating a db.json in our data folder, and we could access that one. But do you feel there is a very big difference in that thing over here? Because that would have been a local file over there if I just create a data folder and add db.json. So now this db.json which you see here, it's no more a normal file. You know what I mean? It's a basically configuration type of file. It has a server running behind. Are you guys getting that one? And I'll tell you, if I come here and open this db.json and I say, okay, I don't want this second over here, delete that. I hit save. Look at that. If I come and refresh that one, you guys see that task is gone. And of course, it is no rocket science. If you come here and you refresh that, look at that. The task number 2 is gone. Now, do you guys understand this very cool thing, how to bring data from any API? Forget about our own. We have set up our own server. Now remember, now whenever you will run this project, you will have to run the server as well as the client, the development server. You know what I mean? Now we have a server as also and a client. You know what I mean? I mean to say, if I come here, look at that. Here is my server running. If I say Control C, terminate. Yes, terminate the server. And I come to my application and I hit refresh. Look at that. What does it say? Where are the tasks gone? Our server is dead. Our server is down and we are not getting any tasks because it goes and tries to fetch that. It does not find, it says no task to display because set task is not getting any data. It is getting that one. But if I run this server back, which I will definitely do that, I'll come here and how to run the server, npm run server, run that server and forget about that and come and click on refresh that. Look at that. I have 2 tasks over there right now because I updated db.json. And what about this one? If I remove these 2 tasks from here, now whoever I ask only, if I hit a refresh, will I get these 2 tasks back? What do you think? The person sitting beside us. Why would I get that? They are deleted. If I hit refresh here, will I get these 2 tasks back or they are just gone? Gone. Wonderful. What do you think? What do you think? If I hit refresh, will I get those 2 tasks back or no? Yes or no? Just I need a yes or no. No? Wonderful.
Yes.
The back. You'll get yes. Why? It is in the state variable and they are in the db.json and they are not be deleted from db.json. You see permanent data storage. Did you guys try refresh over here? Just do a refresh over here and see. Let's do a refresh here. Hey, do you guys know what has happened? Actually, this task is just removed from the UI. It is not removed from there. Did we talk about the local storage in our browser memory when we were doing the library project? Did we talk about local storage? When we were doing the library project, did I tell you how to do the local storage as well? No. You don't know? Maybe I did not do. I'll check that one. You have the code. We'll check that one. But anyhow, but you guys understand this permanent storage right now? I have a server. Now, if I go and delete these 2 tasks from the db.json, will they be available here? No, because now database is cleaned up. And I'll clean that database up. I'll show you something. If I come here and I do something interesting here, I come to db.json. Somehow I say, I hate to see any task here. Remove them. Hit save. Come back over here. See here, if I hit refresh, is there any task remaining? No. If I go to the server, if I hit refresh, I have an empty server. Because everything is gone. Because everything is served from where? db.json. And db.json has been wiped out. Are you guys getting that one? This is just the first step of that. Yes, we can do one more step over here. You know, first of all, we won't be adding the new task, but I will tell you how to delete a task from the server as well. We were just, looking at that right now. It was not deleted. It was just deleted from the UI. But I'll give you just one example for deletion. Now see here. First of all, I'll just, do Control Z here. I want to show some tasks, right? So there are 2 tasks here and 2 tasks here. Make sense? And when I'm clicking this delete from user interface, they are deleted. But as I hit refresh, my database server is running and it has the tasks, they come up. I want to delete it from the database as well. Make sense? Now, please, all of you just look at this. Don't do that. And you will be very easily able to do that. But first, if you look at that, try to understand the concept. See here. Do you remember which function is actually deleting these tasks from the UI? Which function is doing that? Anyone? Was that delete task? I come and delete task. Look at that. And I'll do a very little interesting thing over here. See here. Look at that, what I'm saying. I'm saying fetch. Do you guys remember we have a fetch? I say fetch http://localhost:8000, right? And now here, I've done a mistake. I will use backticks here. I'll tell you http://localhost:8000/$ID. Are you guys getting that one? Go and bring this task from the server. And you know why I'm just making a little mistake here. Tasks/ID. Now, I'll show you something here because I did not show that to you. Now, a very interesting stuff. You know, these tasks are coming from the server, and server has this ID and everything. You know, if I just come here and after task, if I just write 1, it does not show anything. And you know why it is that does not show anything? I'll tell you. If I come here, and please don't do that, and you guys will see that, you know, just right now. I'll stop the server. Yes. And start the server, which is very bad. It just right now asking for the restart of the server. But see here now. Now see here. I come here and I say /1. Do you see that task/ID gives you only one that task? Make sense? Now see here. If I write 2. Oh, sorry. If I write here 2. Look at that. 2 task is not there because, you know, you remember I've deleted that one. Now, if I write 3, you guys understand that one? It means if you pass an ID after tasks, that task only pops up for you. Is that making sense to everyone? Now understanding that, and just look at that. And as I said, next week, I'll start from here. I say open that one and just one step more. I'll just come here and I'll say comma, curly bracket, method colon delete. Now look at that. I don't even need await over here because I'm not bringing anything back. Look at that. Fetch HTTP, or maybe if I need to, I might need to do that. So now let's see that. So I have said fetch 1 task and apply a method of what? And you know, this delete method is an API method. This is physically method. Now let's test this one if it runs. Otherwise, I'll have to change something over here. But let's come back over here. Now see here. If I refresh that and I show you the tasks here. Sorry. I show you the tasks here. All tasks. I have 2 tasks over here. Now see here. I come here and I click this one. Right? I'm expecting it to be deleted from the server as well. Make sense? Let's go back and hit refresh. You guys see that? It is deleted. Now, if I come here and I say, okay, delete that, I'm expecting it to be deleted from the server. Look at that. Are you guys getting that one? So we have practically implemented delete. Just fetch particular task, and after that, brackets, and you say method is equal, method colon delete. Same way, method post, method put, but they will require little bit more options. But do you see that delete is very easy? Now see that. Now we have got a very functional type of. Now, if I just come here and I just say Control Z, you know, you see, we can do Control Z over here. I'll just bring all 3 tasks and I want to show you. Now, if I hit refresh, now I have these 3 because, you know, I've updated the db.json, and we will manually never touch our db.json. You guys get that one? We'll do that through the code, but we are right now doing that. Now, if I come here and I say in my application, I say delete this like 3rd one and I hit refresh. 3rd one is coming back. Why? Let me refresh that. Great. You see that it's not working. And you know, can you tell me a little fix over here? Maybe, you know, what might be the cause? The cause might be, you remember, it's abnormal. It should not happen. It was asking me to restart the server. Maybe I have make change in db.json. So it asked me to restart the server. Are you guys getting that one? So it might be just getting the value over there, but not implementing. Let's do that, and I'll try that one out. I stop that again, and I run that again. Even though that should not happen. That's crime to have that. But let's do that. Now see here, refresh. It has 3 tasks. Delete. If I come here and I refresh, you see that? So again, it's just a bit of abnormal, but we can start and stop the server. And I'll tell you, we can automatically do that to start and stop the server as well. But right now, do you see that? I delete the task from here and I refresh. There is no 2 tasks. And if I come here, I refresh that. I have just task number 3 remaining. Does that make sense? Is this good? We'll start our next class from this point onward. Now we know two API calls. Get, we have done so many times. This fetching is done through get, you know, and today we have implemented which one? The delete. If you pass something as a delete, it will just go there and delete that particular task from that. Right? Do you want me to share this code with you guys right now? because you want to test it at home. I'll share it right now. And keep your teams open. Keep your teams open, and I will just share this with you. Just keep your teams open, please, because I'll have to remove the Node.js and Node modules, and then I will just do that. Are you guys finding this interesting, this project? We have server, we have, so functional thing, and you can implement these things. So this is section 1, week 10, task tracker. I'll remove the node modules first, because I always preach that. So I'll have to do that by myself also, right? So I'll remove the node modules. Remove the node modules. And now I'll just zip it for you. Zip file. And now please open your teams, and I'm sending you on the teams. Because finally I will send it on the code shell after our Friday class, right? Section 1. Start a post. Project thus far, right? So it should be attached now. Now this project will be with you, right? So thank you very much, everyone, for coming in, and I hope you enjoyed today's session. And we will complete this project in